going to be talking about the 4 books that I've read that has changed my financial life, and I believe those 4 books can also help you to do the same. The very first book that I want to talk about is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and it says jumpstart your income, your life, your success. Now this is such a great book. I remember the first time I bought this book, it was a little struggle, to be honest, to read it. So it took me a while to get to finishing this book. So I had to put it away, then come back. I guess they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so that's what happened with this book. Is when I was ready for it, I totally devoured this book, and I've read it time and time again, over and over. It is such a great book. Now, for this book, The Compound Effect, a quick summary of this book. This book was written by Darren Hardy. If you know Darren, he is the author of Success Magazine. And if you're not subscribed to Success Magazine, I don't know what you're waiting for. You need to subscribe today. So Charlie Tremendous Jones said that you will be the same person in 5 years as you are today, except for the people you meet and the books you read. So this is a book that you need to read if you want to change your life. It's a book that teaches the principle of compounding and how small things, like small daily habits, can lead to big results over time. Darren talks about the principle of the elephant versus the mosquito, and he says elephants don't bite. It's a huge animal, it does not bite. But the mosquito will bite, and it can make you sick. It can cause death in some certain cases. So basically he's saying that it is the small things in life that will bite, the very little things. So what I like about this book is that it is a small book. It's just about 160 pages of reading, and the advice here is very practical. There are steps for eliminating bad habits and how to install good habits. Public accountability is one of the things he talks about, and finding a success buddy. So he says if you want to be successful, you need to have public accountability. So like putting out your whatever it is that you're going to do. If you're going to lose 10 pounds, you're going to stop smoking, whatever it is, he says it is good to make it public. And this book is one of the reasons that I started a YouTube channel for accountability. So who do I recommend this book to? I recommend it for anyone who cannot seem to shake off their bad habits. So if your New Year's resolution has already failed, we are about 40 something days into the new year. So if you made New Year's resolutions that has failed, or anyone who's trying to figure out how to level up this year, this is a good book for you to read. I highly, highly recommend this book. Don't read it just once, but at least twice. It is a great book. Now, the next book that I recommend highly is The 7 Mindsets of Success. And this is a book by Stan Morgan. And it says what you really need to achieve rapid top level success. This is a great book. I have read it many times, multiple times, and it's just a good book to read. I believe everybody should read this book. And in this book, he explains the 7 mindsets that are crucial for achieving success in any area of life. He talks a lot about business, but it is any area of life. He talks a lot about your future self, so envisioning what you want for your future, talking to your future self. One of the keys he talks about, one of the mindsets, is removing your safety net, discomfort, getting out of your comfort zone. One of my greatest takeaways from this book is getting perspective from others is often the missing step between where you are now and where you want to be. So Stan in this book talks about getting mentors. So having someone in your life who can show you different things that you often miss. So getting perspective from others, he believes this is a missing key. Now, he also says to be intense, and you need to be intentional. And this really got to me when he says, don't just go to work. Don't just do something. Don't just, just do the activity. But he said to do the activity with intention and do it with intensity. So working with intention and intensity will get you to the level of success that you want to get even faster. So he said create intentional time. So like the night before, you plan out the next day. Don't just wait for the next day and jump in. Be intentional about how you spend your time. Now, the third book that I have to talk about is the one, the only, The Magic of Thinking Big. Now, when I tell you this book is the book, and this book does not even compare to Think and Grow Rich. I don't know which one came out first, but this is a book that I have read over and over. In fact, I have 2 copies, then I also have the e-copy, etc. This book is a must-have. I do not like highlighting and writing in my books, so that's why I had to get an additional copy to make notes on that book. Now, in The Magic of Thinking Big, David Schwartz, the author, he provides practical tips and strategies, and this is what I love. It is very practical. Tips for achieving success in all areas of life. So it's not just finances, but in every area of your life. And he believes that success starts with the way we think, and that by changing our thoughts and beliefs, we can achieve great things. And yes, although this is a finance channel, personal finance, we talk about money and wealth, but I believe that you cannot get to wealth, the wealth that is due you. You cannot get to that place without first refining and renewing your mind. It starts with the mind. Wealth starts with the mind. So these 3 books that I have read, they are all, coincidentally, they are all talking about the mind, success, and tips for renewing your mind, changing the way we think. All of these books talk about that, the mindset. And finally, the last book I want to tell you about is your journal. Journaling, as we know, I'm pretty sure you know, it is very important to have a journal. And what journaling does is that it frees up your mind. It gives you time. It gives you pictures of what you want for your life. So journaling is very, very important. And we know writing in your journal is important. But what happens is many times we write, but we never go back and read. And what I have found out is that every time I go back to my journal, it could be a few months later down the road, a year, even 3-4 years later down the road, and I open these journals and I read, it is just amazing the things that I find in there. And I'm just blown away. It's amazing that the time spent journaling, sometimes we think nothing of it. We think, oh, that's just a waste of time, or we're just writing, we're just scribbling. But no, if you go back and you reread what you have written, I am telling you, you will be shocked. And I've been shocked many times, many times. And many of the ideas and the projects that I've undertaken happened after I went back, like months later, and reread this journal. And I'm like, who wrote this? Like, what? How? What was I thinking? What does that mean? And so then I would keep reading, and then ideas would just come based on the things that I've written in my quiet time, in solitude. So although this is not a book, for me, this is the number 1 book that you can read, because this is a book that you took time to write. So when you spend time with yourself. So you were spending time with yourself quietly, spending time in reflection, in solitude, by yourself, reflecting about your future self, giving thanks, etc. And I believe this is one of the greatest books that a person can spend time reading. It is your journal. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, then like the video, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.